Well, hello, everyone. I'm Veronica Johnson, Chief Meteorologist with the First Alert Weather Team. And we've been taking a deep dive into the winter forecast for Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. We've been tracking several large-scale patterns that will shape our season from the Pacific all the way up to the Arctic. And this year's forecast has a familiar name behind it, La Niña. That's where we start. Eileen's got a closer look at what that means for us.
Thanks, Veronica. So La Niña is the backbone of our winter outlook, and that's when cooler Pacific waters shift the jet stream and influence storm tracks across the country. So no two La Niñas are ever the same, but they do tilt the odds towards certain patterns. So wetter in the Pacific Northwest, drier in the south, and then here in the mid-Atlantic, often variable, meaning that we can see sharp swings between mild and cold periods. Now that's just one piece of the puzzle, so let's check in with Brian on the other big climate drivers.
That's right, Eileen. And beyond La Niña, we're watching a few long-term ocean patterns that act as climate dials, kind of steering things around the globe. And you most likely haven't heard of the Pacific Decadal Oscillation or the Atlantic Multi-Decadal Oscillation or even the Indian Ocean Dipole. But all these factors come together and they help steer where heat and moisture go all across the globe. And when the cycles line up with La Niña, they can reinforce the impacts, bringing us colder air or even helping storms track closer to the East Coast. And that's not all. Other signals from across the globe, well, they play a big role too. And Jordan Evans has more on that part of the story.
Exactly, Brian. One of the more subtle but powerful players in the winter setup is Siberian snow cover. When there's more snow across Eurasia in October, November, it can actually help drive colder air southward into North America. And later in the season, that influences the jet stream, which is the ribbon of fast-moving air that steers those storm systems. With more snowpack, there can be more blocking, and that can spell sharper cold outbreaks for us. Now, Mark's looking at what all these ingredients add up to in terms of temperatures right here at home.
Thanks, Jordan. So let's talk temperatures now. And for the winter months in D.C., temperatures run at about 39.3 degrees overall. And breaking this down by months for our forecast, we're going to go pretty close to or slightly above average for the month of December at about 40 to 41 degrees. January, our coldest month of the year, looks to be at or slightly below average at about 36 to 37 degrees. So some really cold temperatures, but that's actually pretty close to average. And by February, we'll start to turn the corner and start seeing some more milder days, and we're expecting those temperatures to be at or slightly above average again at about 39 to 41 degrees. Now overall, a pretty variable weather pattern setting up for the winter with some cold snaps sprinkled in, but overall not a brutally cold winter is expected. But of course, everyone wants to know about the snowfall, so for that, back to Veronica.
Well, you knew we'd get here. The D.C. area typically averages about 13.7 inches of snow each winter. And last year we came in with, look at this, 14.9 inches for winter 2025. The First Alert Weather Team is forecasting, take a look, between 10 and 20 inches of snowfall throughout the area. You can see these areas in light blue and dark blue. That puts us in between that 10 and 20 inch area there on snowfall. So how will it break down throughout the season? 2 to 3 inches for D.C. The average 2.3 for the month of January, 5 to 10 inches of snowfall. The average is 5.6. And then for February, 3.7 inches of snowfall. So we could possibly have a stronger finish, especially if La Niña starts to weaken late in the season. I'll go back to this map one more time so you can see it. Areas like Leesburg, that's 15 inches. Frederick, Maryland, that's about 15 to 22. Around D.C. Metro, could be as much as 15 inches of snowfall, and with any southern sliders, could be more snow too for the southern portion of Maryland.
So here's the bottom line this winter. Slightly milder temperatures overall, but a roller coaster. Quick thaws, sharp cold shots, and a few shovel-worthy storms. Metro snow totals, perhaps 10 to 15 inches. Along the I-95 corridor, will ride the rain mix snow line. Best window for plowable snow, late January into mid-February. As for the rest of the winter, all bets are on for brief icing and weather makers with minor tidal flooding.
So there you have it, the patterns, the players, and yes, the snowfall numbers. As always, our First Alert weather team will be tracking every cold front, every snowmaker, and every big temperature swing through the season. So stay connected with us on air, online, and in the First Alert weather app for updates all winter long. I'm Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson. Stay warm, and we'll see you out there.